Hello friends. So today we are going to learn OData query options. If you can see my screen, we are going to extract filter option from OData query string. Before starting this tutorial, I hope you guys are aware of what are OData controller, and how it is being used. Just for a quick demo, let's understand how we can create a OData API. So what you will have to do is just open a Visual Studio, go to File and New, select the project and select the web application. Just click on OK, select the empty web template and have the web API template and just click on OK. So once you do all those things, you will get the similar kind of solution. Just I have open up here just to sake of a time. So in this what you will get the blank hierarchy of all the folders and controllers models. For this demo purpose, what you will have to do is just to create a model class. So in this I have created a one class that's have three property: ID, name and location. And one more class I have created, that is filling up our list of this company property inside the controller. So just you have to do is just create one iQueryable list, and in a static constructor just initialize the property values and just return it back. So this is the first step for the OData. The second step is create Second step is just go to the app start, and in a web API config, you will have some necessary changes inside. Before that, I would like to show you the controller. So just right click on the controller class and you will find an option to add a controller here like this, or you can normally add one class, give it a proper name like I have given as a employee controller.cs. And in employee controller.cs, so what you will have to do is give the proper class name suffix with the controller. So this is the usual syntax we are follow in web API as well as the OData. And here the difference is, so we are inheriting it through the OData controller, not web API controller. That's the things. And now your method signature should be the iQueryable, your entity type, and your parameter is this OData query option. To taking all those things, you will need to have some NuGet package installed in your solution. So once you install this OData, Microsoft Data.OData and Microsoft OData.core EDM, you will get all the references related to your OData controller. Now this is the second step. Now let's go back to our global.tsx file. Before going that, go to web API config. So in the config, what you will have to do is you will have to generate your EDM model. So EDM model means entity data model you have to generate, and this entity data model is basically the part of your entity framework. So what it is doing here is it is saying that we'll create a OData model convention as per the entity model whatever we are providing. So in our case we have one company class and our controller is company processing controllers. So what we are saying here, we'll create a builder instance of OData convention model builder, and inside that we are setting up our entity. So entity is our company, and we are giving a proper name as we have given in the controller, and we are just simply saying that builder.return builder.get EDM model as a return. in the register method of webAPI config.cs, what you will have to do is we'll have to put this 3 lines. So what this 3 lines is doing, we are creating the instance of our data convention model builder, and we are setting up the company as an entity set, and we are mapping the route. So in this route, actually what we are doing, we are giving the name and the suffix. So first one is the name, route name, and second one is the route suffix, and third one is the model entity model class. So entity model class, we are calling it from the get EDM model. So get EDM model is here only. This is the second thing. Now let's go back to our API, OData controller. So in the OData controller, what we are trying to do is in a simple 3 line, what we are saying here is to call the company REP class. Inside that, we are calling up this static list. So what it is doing, once you call it up, the constructor will fire and it will initialize the list as a queryable, and it will give you the data. So what next we are doing here is we are doing this parameter, whatever is coming, the OData parameter, we are just applying that to this data. This will catch from the URL like the query string. The query syntax of OData is slightly different as our normal query string is, but this will the parameter in that parameter, whatever the for the filter options and the criteria we are sending up from the client, will are going to apply that to our data, and finally we are returning our data back as a queryable format. So let's see first how it works, and then we'll try to understand how we can filter criteria from this OData query option. So let it run first. So it will open up my IIS Express and it will show you some nice data. So this is the local. So remember, we have given the OData as a suffix and then our controller name. So once I click on it, it will fire up here. And if you can see in a URL, we haven't give any parameter, so everything should come as blank, like count is blank, filter is blank, everything is null. We haven't passed any parameter here. So that means it has to go and filter out all the data whatever present in the list. So let's click on continue and press enter. So here we nicely get our list of record. So now let's suppose if someone wants to have some filtering data on this, and it says like I want only this record, I want the record whose name is TCS. So how we can set up the query? So this is how we set the query syntax of OData. So the syntax is there's a normal question mark, the same as the query string we are passing up, and then dollar symbol, and then the filter equals to what we are filtering out, the name. EQ is an operator and we are saying the name is TCS. Let's hit enter. Now if you can see in options, what you will find, just a second, what you will find is in a filter there are something. Initially it was null in the previous time, and this time it had something, and now it is saying the raw value is name EQ TCS. Alright, so the thing is we are just saying we are filtering out all the data whose name equals to TCS. So till now all the data is here. If you can see, there are 3 records. Now once you apply this OData, you will find this OData. Once it is returned, obviously you will see it because this is the query or the I variable. So once it will return, you will find something, your data. So here I think we won't be able to get that because this is the I queryable, and just we can see here the filter name equals to TCS. So let's continue it, and on a browser you can see only one record. Let's match this filter criteria. This filter criteria might be complex as per the business requirement. This is the demo purpose, so you can see only the few things here, but it might be quite difficult when you see in this way. We can have the filter criteria. The filter is here. So what we are doing, we are filtering the name equals to TCS and IDEQ1. There may be some more options we can add in the filter criteria. We can add the between, we can add contains operator. So many things are there. So the challenge comes once you are hitting on a controller, and if you want to do some parameter validation, or if you have implemented your repository pattern, and through the controller you wanted to push your filter options, filter criteria to your repository, then it's a quite difficult to filter out what is the value and what is the property and what is the value. Like this, in this case the property is name and the value is TCS. So if you want to pass this value TCS with the property name, then it's quite difficult to find it out. So how we can do this, this is what we are going to see here. So let me stop this debugging, and I'll enable this commented code, and I will show you what it is means. So here in the code what we are saying, if the options dot filter is not null, and string dot not string dot is null or empty, this raw value, I mean if the filter is present, then only this code will hit. So in this code what we are saying, we have nicely created one different class that is called the ODataQueryFilter, and in this ODataQueryFilter we have one method that is called extract ODataFilter, and it is taking up this options parameter. So in this class, if you can go, if you can see, this is the ODataQueryFilter class, and this in this class we have simply written here one nice regex expression. So I hope you guys have familiar with the regex, how it works and how to write the regex expression. So in this regex expression you can see what we have. I mean the simply it is saying in a OData query option you will get so many things like what is the raw value, what is the query parameters, everything. You can see here it returns the raw values, and it is saying it can be used in the apply to. So if you go back, so we are saying in the query options, in the raw value you will find the resource, you will find the operator, and you will find the value. So what happened, this is called the resource, this is called the operator, and this will call the value. So since we have three different property, so to extracting from the URL, we have created here one simple property class that is that contains three properties: resource, operator, and value. Next, so based on this OData query expression, I mean filter query expression, we are initializing our regex. Here we have created the instance of regex. We are using that expression in the inside the regex, and we are simply saying that to ignore the case, because in any case we'll have to use that, and ignore the pattern white space. That's the simple simply we have initialized our regex. So what could be our target string? The target string would be the query string options dot filter dot raw value. How this raw value? If you can see here in this option, we have set it that the data will be in the raw value. Okay, so our target string would be raw value. We are simply saying for the safer side that if there are any opening or closing braces, then just trim and then just trim that opening and closing braces. Then like the same way, if we have like this, if someone didn't put like the bracket, that will also work, but most of the time people use like this, because we are separating out our filter with the other filter criteria. So if that is present, let's trim that. If not, it won't do anything. Now the target string is set. So what is the replace string? So in the replace string, what we have did, we are will have to just create one JSON in the form of key value pair. So what we are doing in this expression, we are filtering out the resource, operator and value. So we are saying resource is our keyword and value. I mean key and value. This is the key and this is the value. Same operator is a key, and whatever the operator value is, that is the value. And the same for the value is the key, and what is the value for in the expression, that is the value for this key. That's it. Now just use our regex and say replace this regex dot replace. So whatever the filter value this regex find, it will replace this expression and it will put it the value here. And then the next step is just to create a JSON array. So since it's a JSON, simple JSON, so if we add the square bracket, if it's surrounded with the square bracket, it will become a JSON array. And then finally the simple, we have to do the deserialization. Whatever the JSON string we have created here, just deserialize with the on the list of this OData or filter class on this class. So it will simply create your object and you can filter out your value like this. Let's say I wanted to get the name parameter. What is the value of name? So I can simply say OData object dot find what we are going to find the resource. But just make it 2 upper, so that it will be if it is a case sensitive, then it won't create any problem. And we're just saying to filter out the name. So if we are saying name, so in this example, it will give you the TCS. And when we are filtering out the name, so it will give you the value as a TCS here. So let's see this in an action. So just click on run on Google Chrome. Okay, now let's say we are saying the filter with the name TCS. So let's hit the enter. So if we go there, let's click on F10. So yes, filter is not null and raw value is also present here. So I'm clicking on it. So let's press F11. It will take you here, and in that it is just creating the expression first, and then it is initializing the regex. Now we are getting our target string. So target string is this one. Now we are getting the replace string. So replace string is this. And once we do a regex.replace on the target string with the replace string, so it will create your array like this. So resource is name, operator is EQ, and value is TCS. Now let's make it JSON array. So let's click on it. So now the same, it's created as a JSON array. The next option is just to deserialize it on an object. So now your object is ready. You can get it, operator, value, resource. Click on it. Now if you want to filter out the name, just you have the simple lambda expression and you are trying to get the value out of it. Click on it, you will get the name as TCS. So in this way guys, you can filter out the filter options from the OData query option. So whatever the complex your filter option is in the row value, you can filter out in this way. Hope you like this video, and if you have any doubt, any question, you can write to me. And also if you guys wanted to visit my blog, you can go to visit my blog, and I have all this information in my blog as well. So the blog information I can show you on my uh, YouTube channel. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.